Now, in doing any restoration project that I've ever done, one of the things that's annoying and difficult to do from time to time is to get anodizing off the aluminum without leaving a lot of scratches in it that have to be polished out. And I've found a few different ways that seem to work for me that don't require chemicals. Of course, if you have chemical tanks at your disposal, that's one way to do it. But this way, using a wire wheel, a soft wire wheel, or using fine grit sandpaper, 1500, 2000, what it allows you to do is go in with either the buffing wheel or with some other method of polishing and get a nice smooth aluminum finish where there normally would be a dull, in fact, when it gets old, a very dull finish. So this video, I hope, has some basic polishing information you can use. And number one, on any polishing thing, we want to polish the foot peg in this case, and this aluminum holder for the 750. Well, the red anodizing, I want to take it off. I want to take it off with a soft wire wheel. And I could run that on a buffing wheel, and it'll take a long time to get the anodizing off. But if I use a soft wire wheel, it'll come off and it'll leave a surface that'll be relatively easy to polish. Now, anytime you're using a wire wheel, of course, safety first, use safety goggles. The soft wire wheels are available from Harbor Freight, of course. And what happens with these anodized pegs, and these are the pegs that came with the bike when I bought it, of course, what happens is they wear where your foot touches it, and then they start to look, well, not the way I want them to look. Now, I want to do this, but I want to be real careful not to remove all the knurls because I want my foot to stick nice and tight to the boot. Now, when George Venturini, our late friend George Venturini, he owned an anodizing shop. So in the past, we had gotten a lot of stuff anodized, and he taught me a lot about the basic things of prepping parts for anodizing. They have to be immaculately clean, of course. If you want them to be smooth, they have to be buffed or cleaned, or you have to remove the old anodizing chemically. Now, I like the look of polished aluminum. Now, in this case, I could have bought a set of silver foot pegs to match the bike. Well, red doesn't match a green bike, so that didn't work. So the choice is for free. I can do this removing the anodizing. And it's a little bit tricky to get in all the little nooks and crannies. Castings are usually very hard to polish. But in either case, no matter what you do, you can't polish anodizing. That's just the way it is. So with some parts of this, I want to have very smooth and polished, but the foot pegs are not one of them. I just want to have the end that's not on your boot polished. The rest of it, I want to have that like wire brushed look. So this was a little tricky, and I wanted to be real careful doing this because this is one of the parts of the bike that when it's done correctly, you see it right away, and it stands out. Now, the preparation for getting a part polished, this is the part that just seems a little tedious and a little time consuming, but in the end, it pays off big time. First off, we don't have to buy another set of pegs. These are already installed. I can do this in a matter of 10, 15 minutes. I can polish the ends, and I've got one more nice little part on the bike polished that normally I would be looking at red foot pegs on a green bike if I didn't do this. So anyway, the point is there's a lot of little parts on the bike that are easy to take off, master cylinders, mufflers, head pipes, and to do it on a wire wheel like this and then go over to the buffing wheel. Now I have a dedicated wire wheel and a dedicated buffing wheel, so this is a little bit easier to do than if it were bolted to the motorcycle. Bolted to the motorcycle, this would take a lot of time. And it's very awkward. In this case, when you have a buffing wheel, and now if you look real close at the buffing wheel, I never want to buff the part. I want it to be, if I look at that wheel at 9 o'clock. If I go lower than 9 o'clock, the part starts to get sucked in toward the table. And above 9 o'clock, it starts to get where it wants to push the part out to me. Those are just basic buffing wire wheel technology tips. But getting that part where the anodizing's off, that's step one. Now, there are other ways to remove anodizing so you can polish the aluminum, but this is the easiest way I know, is with a soft wire brush on any kind of a polishing wheel. Now, there were also some edges on this part that I wanted to polish, and the part either had clear anodizing, and by the way, all anodizing is clear. You put a dye in the final part of it, the process, to make the color that you want, but the anodizing itself is clear. So you have to get that off before you can really polish that edge. And this, again, same as before, a little time consuming. Be careful, keep the part at 9 o'clock on the wheel, and here's a little sample of how much we got off. Now, before I go over to the buffing wheel, I want to make sure I have all the anodizing off the part. Now, once the anodizing is off the part, now you can go ahead and polish away. And on the foot pegs, I wanted to be real careful not to polish up the knurls. On the other part, I wanted to polish certain areas, but I didn't want to polish the whole thing, so it would look like what I had in mind. But it's a casting. Castings usually don't polish up as quickly as other aluminum, but I did have a look in my mind of how I wanted this to look when it was done, and the anodizing came off relatively quickly, and it polished up just beautifully. Now, there's a lot of other ways to polish up small parts, but having a buffing wheel and having the red, black, and white compound is the easiest way I know to do it. Now, my 750 features a lot of polished parts, the aluminum swing arm. There you can see the foot pegs when they were done. And it's a focal point of the bike. Having those parts polished, I think, adds a nice touch and really doesn't cost a lot of money. Same thing with the muffler. We got a muffler with this bike that was not really in nice shape. We managed to polish it up. I think it looks a whole lot better than it does the day we got it. It was kind of corroded, and one day of polishing, it looked a whole lot better. Now, being able to remove either the anodizing or the old finish is one of the things that allows you to do things like polish the triple tree, polish the caps, the bolts, the master cylinder. In fact, my GS has a polished master cylinder. A lot of little parts, but it makes it so handy when you can take them off the bike and go down to the buffing wheel. Now, a lot of people try to do this right on a bike to avoid taking parts off the bike. To me, it's just easier for me to take the parts off the bike, and this is the heavy-duty buffing wheel we have in the shop now. And these parts, the more little parts you can polish up and buff up, to me, it just looks so much nicer. To me, that looks so much nicer than a part that has that flat anodizing look or clear look. Now, just to repeat, some aluminum parts, small aluminum parts, have a clear coating on it, especially old Japanese engine side covers, that you have to remove with sandpaper, or another good way to do it, and this is a GS master cylinder cover, if to get that coating off, or the anodizing, or both. Sometimes you have both, and there's clear on top of the anodizing. But to get down to raw aluminum, another good thing is SOS pads, because it doesn't really make such deep scratches in the part that it's hard to polish. And assumingly you want to polish it when you have the old finish off. But getting that old finish off, if you don't have chemicals, this is the only way I know to do it. Now, in case of holding small parts where you have to hold them, of course, you want to have, I have old motorcycle gloves here that are well worn. They let you hold the part because the part, of course, gets red hot when you're buffing it. And this is on the bigger buffing wheel. That part heats up really quick. And it's to your advantage to protect your fingers, protect your fingernails and hands and everything while you're using any kind of buffing wheel. Now, another final touch, once you have the anodizing off and you've buffed the part on a buffing wheel, this is the fur wheel that Harbor Freight sells. The fur wheel seems to be a nice final touch. Another choice if you don't have the fur wheel, I call it the fur wheel. Another thing that's nice to do at the end of any of these kind of polishing things is get a coat of flitz on there. The flitz will for sure extend the life before that gets dull again. And they say it does it for 6 months, and I think they're pretty close on that. But I always like to finish off the polishing with flitz, and just for the protection of it. Now, flitz is 6,000 grit. So it really doesn't add you can't polish raw aluminum with it. You really have to polish the part first, and then that puts the final polish on it and the final, most of all, protection. Now, I've found in polishing up a lot of the levers on my bikes in my collection, they have some kind of a coating. I don't really know if it's anodizing, clear anodizing, or if it's some kind of an epoxy, but it's a coating that's, if you could polish forever and it doesn't come off, if you sand it, probably 1500, 2000 grit, and you then at that point, you can clean it up, buff it on a buffing wheel, finish it off with some flits, and it has that really nice polished aluminum look that I really like. And I like that because to me these are all little detail touches that you can do to a motorcycle for almost no money, and you can do them on a rainy day, and you can do them when you're bored and there's nothing on TV, all the MotoGP stuff is over. And in the end, once you have it cleaned up, it really adds some nice feature to the bike. Now, I know one of the frustrations I've had in restoring the bikes in my collection is dealing with these finishes and anodizing, iridizing, things that the factory puts on to protect it when if you leave a bike out in the rain for 10 years. I don't do that. So I can polish parts, keep them polished, and I love the look of polished aluminum. But I have been frustrated in the past trying to get off from the levers to the foot pegs to the master cylinder, the bolts. Another golden rule I always have is anytime I have a bolt off the motorcycle, run it on a buffing wheel, put a coat of flits on it, just keep it protected, keep it polished. It just seems like it's so little effort when these parts are off the motorcycle that it's a shame not to do it. And it's really a shame when you have a beautiful motorcycle to just let it go downhill and every year it gets older and rustier and more oxidized. See, this is the GS Master Cylinder, 41 years old. All of the parts from the GS, 41 years old. And when they're polished, they're nicer than when they left the factory brand new. And maintaining a bike, to me, it's one of the enjoyable parts of owning motorcycles. So I hope you did get some good information out of the video, and hope you do enjoy the videos on our channel. And of course, please ride safe always. And thanks so much for watching.